Hey, what's up, Reefers? Happy Lunar New Year to all those that celebrate it. I have been down with the flu actually for the past few days, so I have been pretty lacking on updates. But today I'm trying to fix that. Finally out of bed, and I want to give you a little update on the 17-gallon drop-off tank. So the last time you heard about this tank was when we were fragging Zoas for the rock structure. So today let's do a little follow-up on these guys. So since that day, I kind of pulled out some of the Zoas on larger pieces of rock and fragged them a little bit further. Some of them I pretty much glued the polyp directly onto the rock structure, while others I tried to chisel little pieces along the Zoas and glue the Zoas onto the rock structure using those little pieces chiseled. And so far I am really liking this look. It's a lot more streamlined without random pebbles or frag disc frag plug sticking out. And there's still a couple pieces I need to chisel a little bit more. For example, that big rock that the mushroom is on. So I'll be breaking that up a little bit more. Same thing with the green saw polyp. I was able to frag up the green saw polyp a little bit more, extract a couple flat pieces, and seat the upper deck. Thank you again to CJ for the idea. The basic concept of this tank is going to be green saw polyp on the upper deck, like a grass field, and then this rock structure come down like a bonsai tree trunk, and then up here you see like clusters of frog spawn or other corals in cluster like a bonsai tree leaves. So we'll see how that looks. And that's why you see me picking like almost like a red or rust color Zoas, darker color Zoa for this portion. And I'm going to put some of the more colorful Zoas as we reach near the tip to draw the attention that way. Now the challenge is that the GSP I picked up is actually really bright, so the corals over here has to be really bright as well. And usually those cost a lot more, of course. Now so far I have been really happy with the lights. This is the ONF Flat 1 that I'm kind of evaluating and giving feedback. Again, this is a Taiwan company and they have been winning awards left and right, so this is definitely a light to watch out for. In terms of coral, they seem to be happy with this light, no complaints. I do feel like, if I have to guess, this light would be great for softies, LPS, maybe some low light loving SPS. I'm not sure if it would be strong enough for the more hardcore SPS. But later on, I'm going to try and borrow a par meter to get some exact readings. They have released a par meter or par charts, but I kind of prefer to do my own reading as well with the unit that I have. But so far, no complaints at all. It looks really sleek, goes really well with the tank, and the coral seems to really like it. And they also fluorescent really well with them. Alright, well, let's go to some pain point I learned about this drop-off tank. It is really hard to clean. Holy crap. Let's start from the side panels, the acrylics. Mainly due to my rock structure and how close they are to the edges. Every time I try to actually use my hand to scrape, I've been using the Magic Eraser. Thank you guys for recommending it. This is actually really great for taking out algae on the acrylic. But every time I use my hand to go down the side with the Magic Eraser, I would sometimes bump into the side of the rocks or scrape against frog spawn, and it's really not pleasant. So I was like cursing every day until I realized that I have this. I think this is Kent, if I remember right. Yeah, it's Kent. The scraper right here. I actually got this for my 45-gallon tank. It has different blade head. I have the felt pad on top right now. So this had been sidelined by the magnetic scraper for the longest time, until I was like fed up with this. I'll try to figure out what else I can use. So this is a godsend, but I need to get a magnetic scraper for the drop-off tank as well. So that covers the side. Now my biggest pain is detritus buildup. You see all this crap right there? This is actually 1 week of buildup. I've been sick, so I haven't been cleaning it all, but I've tried many different methods. My first go-to was the Eheim Quick Vac Pro, which I did a review on. It worked really well on the sand bed in my 45-gallon tank. However, in bare bottom, it was pretty much useless because it's not sealed, so there's no suction. So I tried different things. The second one I did was really manual intensive. I used a turkey baster, and because they have a couple spot that all the detritus collects, I just kind of suck it up every night, and it's shit. Because every time I suck these things up, I'll take out a lot of tank water as well, so the salinity will fluctuate. Because every time I take water out, ATO is going to kick in and drop some fresh water in that is not that has no salt, so it's terrible. But I kept this up for a couple of weeks, and I was hating life. Next thing, I was like, okay, what if I do something a little bit more automatic? I stuck filter pad in there, and I just kind of like blow all the crap into the water column, hoping that the things will flow to the back and the filter will caught it. For the most part, that worked to a certain extent, except a lot of the heavier detritus still kind of settled down here. So finally, last week, I found the silver bullet. I remember a while back, I saw a video of another reefer cleaning their bare bottom tank. I forgot who it was. It may be Fish of Hacks. If so, thank you so much. If not Fish of Hacks, thank you to whoever made that video. The guy was using a air tube, a thin air tube as a siphoning hose, and this worked perfect. So it does not take out a lot of water, and the suction is really strong due to the diameter of the air hose, and it pulled out all these detritus really easily. So I've been doing this for a week, and it's beautiful. I nearly cried the first time I used this. But again, this is 1 week of work of buildup, so I gotta clean it again as soon as I feel a little bit better. Now, that's all fine and good, but I gotta tell you a little stupid story that I did last week. So don't laugh at me. So I always look at my channel as a way to educate other reefers based on what I do wrong. I'm not in a position to tell you what you guys should do because I don't think I'm at that point. There are a lot of great channels of really knowledgeable people that can tell you exactly what you should or should not do. Not me. I can show you the stupid crap that I've done just so that you don't do the same thing. Alright, so last week I was just starting to come down with flu. I have no patience. I was like, F***. So I noticed that just a few pieces of a few area of zoas, they're kind of closed up. I'm like, okay, what's going on? Something's not right. So I did a salinity test to see what salt level my tank is at. And sure enough, it was at 1.021. It was really low. And that's probably because I was still using turkey baster to kind of like suck things out and dumping it in, and then ATO kicking fresh water. Actually, it was like maybe, yeah, it's a week ago. I was still doing that before I discovered the airline hose. So I was like, okay, that's not right. I gotta fix it right away. But at the same time, I'm feeling terrible. I just want to go to bed. I just want to get this done. So you know what I did? I looked at the tank. I looked at my bucket of salts. In my mind, I was like, okay, reef crystal, they dissolve in the water really quick. Let me just dump the salt directly in the rear compartment. I think by the time it flowed to this side, it would be completely dissolved and it's okay. I'm not adding that much salt. And it was not okay. So I just kind of like dumped some salt in there. I was like, okay, fine, I'm done. And as I see the water come out here, as soon as it hits the coral, all the corals just slam shut. My frog spawn slammed shut, and some of them is even like have strings of crap oozing out, like brown stuff. Those are probably the symbiotic algae that they get photosynthetic from, and they get energy from because algae is doing photosynthesis. But anyways, basically crabs is coming out from frog spawn, and I'm like, oh shit. And then as the flow of water hit the snails, they all fell off the wall. I'm like, oh crap. What? I was like, I'm nuking my tank. I nuked my tank. But at that point, there's really not too much I could do. I just kind of banged my head against the wall, cursed my impatience, and hashtag inappropriate reefer. But thankfully, after like maybe like 15-20 minutes, things started to recover. Things are starting to be okay again. I guess that's when the water really like mixed through. And I checked my salinity again. It was 1.026. So I raised it from 1.021 to 1.026 through just pure salts dumped in the back chamber. It was bad. So thankfully, all the coral seems okay. All the snails right themselves, and then they're right back onto the walls, and they're all okay, except obviously some of the zoas are really pissed off at me. For example, well, especially the ones that's right in the path of the water flow. You notice that that's closed, right? That's actually my brightest zoa from the 45-gallon tank. And the Rasta is pissed off. This guy too, they used to be a lot larger. They all kind of shrunk up. So now I'm just kind of, I want to give them a week or two to kind of heal up before I even do anything to the tank. I just want to, oh my gosh, that was a close call. I could have like really nuked my tank. So that was a huge mistake. Again, I knew that was wrong, but I was just like so impatient. I just want to get to bed. I was like, I could get away with it. This time I kind of did, but next time I may not be this lucky. So lesson learned. And yeah, don't do what I did. That was dumb. So that is pretty much it for this update. I'm gonna go back into bed and try to kick this flu. One quick thing. So you know we were making all those frags. Let's come over here real quick. So in my 45-gallon tank, I got a frag rack for the first time in my life. And we got these frags right here. TJ, that's yours, by the way. So I know some people commented, I asked like, hey, anybody local, if you want a Zoa, I can hook you up. So yes, same thing. If you replied already, I got you, don't worry. I'm just letting them heal up. And we'll find a good time and we'll maybe all meet up or whatever, and then I'll distribute these guys. And for the people that did not reply but are interested, I may be selling these down the road, but these will be for cheap. And this is just to recoup some of the costs that I put into the colony. And it's actually kind of fun to make frags, you know. I think I may get into it a little bit more. And speaking of which, you'll be happy to know. Yeah, that's right, guys. Check this out. But this is for another video. Alright, I'll talk to you guys next time.